AP Environmental Science. Today, I'm going to be talking about indoor air pollutants and what you can do for them in your home. Indoor air pollutants can be more dangerous than outdoor air pollutants because homes have lower ventilation than outdoor where wind is just blowing around. So pollutants can get trapped indoors, and as you walk around your house and turn vacuums on, wind gets kicked up and particulate matter gets thrown all around. So, the first one I want to talk about is air fresheners. Air fresheners have a lot of volatile organic compounds and can cause eye and respiratory irritation. Air fresheners are meant to make your house smell better, but better ventilation in a house would not only help your air and smell, it would just help your whole indoor air pollution situation. So I would definitely suggest opening some windows. I was reading scented products emit a bouquet of VOCs, and I was learning that the aerosol cans and detergents and whatnot have a lot of organic compounds in them that are volatile and not always the healthiest for you. The most important thing, though, that I found really interesting is that air fresheners and detergents, even like the organic ones, have like organic, all natural, vegan, they all have volatile organic compounds in them. I think it's easy to assume when you see organic or all natural, it's easy to think like there's nothing bad in it, but this study found that there are a lot of volatile organic compounds. They found them in over 100 household detergents, air fresheners, whatnot, um, even organic ones. So watch out, read your ingredient labels. Mm, There's also dust producers. Something like a couch produces dust. Mostly, it's kind of like a smaller scale of why indoor air pollution is more dangerous than outdoor air pollution. Just there's low ventilation. So under a couch, there's like no ventilation. So when dust goes down there, there's not a lot that's pushing it out. So it just kind of stays down there because it's covered. Um, and this is how your house works. There's nothing really pushing around. There's only things moving around in the house and moving the air in the house and displacing and moving stuff. So things are going to get trapped in your house just as they get trapped under your couch. The dust from couches and cat litter can cause respiratory and eye irritation, um, along with not being good for asthma. Dusting, vacuuming, of course, helps. And if you can toilet train your cats and not have a litter box, I guess that helps. But more recently, stronger and stronger AC filters have been made, especially due to COVID. AC filters that protect against COVID, AC filters that protect against pollen, indoor pollutants have been coming out, and getting yourself one of those and making sure your AC filters are clean are a good way to protect against dust and volatile organic compounds in your house and filter all that out because they do have negative health impacts. A nicher one is incense. Burning incense can cause volatile organic compounds, dust, and carbon monoxide in the home. Yeah, and all those things can cause respiratory and eye irritation. The dust, the volatile compounds, and the carbon monoxide can cause respiratory problems and cardiovascular health. A study in Singapore studying people who have been burning incense daily for years found that just the ritual of burning incense daily causes the cardiovascular mortality rate to go up. Burning incense, putting those smells in the air, does put pollution in your home. A carbon monoxide detector and AC filters again will protect against this. A carbon monoxide detector is probably not going to detect the amount of carbon monoxide that's being let out by incense, like just the uncombusted particulate matter. But a carbon monoxide detector will make sure that you are safe against carbon monoxide and doesn't get to dangerous levels in your house. But be wary, incense does let carbon monoxide into your lungs. Spray painted walls and paint dust. Spray paint, like um, air fresheners, uses aerosol and to spray the paint, and that can put plastics into the air and whatnot. Paint, uh, especially from spray cans, it becomes dusty and it'll fall off. When the wall behind the camera was being spray painted, there was a fan out this window, and to push everything out, ventilation, and the fan was covered in blue dust because of the blue spray paint. Um, so even after, like, if I rub my finger on the wall, um, it'll be blue because there's dust all over it, and that is causing indoor pollution. There's literally paint dust floating around my room. And if the wall shakes, uh, if there's an earthquake or if something bumps into the wall and it shakes a little, some of that dust is gonna like come off the wall and start floating around as dust in the air, and it's paint dust. And the TDI exposure inside of the paint can cause asthma, make asthma worse, and causes respiratory damage. Using a paint sealant on the spray painted walls would fix this, but that's a lot. Um, and respirators when spray painting, like using respirators, especially if you're spray painting a lot, um, just to keep the TDI out of your body. Finally, probably the nichest one is windows. I would say that opening my windows causes indoor air pollution because I live next to a bridge. If you stand on the corner of my block, you're under the bridge. Um, I live next to the Williamsburg Bridge. There's cars going up and down it all day. And when we have our windows open, the house becomes noticeably more dusty, very, very dusty. It causes dust and heavy metals. Heavy metals, especially, from cars and stuff on the bridge just getting pushed down. Um, Heavy metals can cause a lot of really negative effects. They can cause gastrointestinal and kidney dysfunction, nervous system disorders, skin lesions, vascular damage, immune system dysfunction, birth defects, and cancer. So, um, living by a bridge is not the best. In one of the studies I was reading, uh, they went to Saudi Arabia, which is, a city in a desert, so it's very dusty and very urban. They found 50 times more heavy metal than the the limit humans should be around in this urban Saudi Arabian lawn dust. And so if that's getting into homes and whatnot, um, that's causing a lot of these really negative health impacts for a lot of people in Saudi Arabia. New York is a coastal city. It is much less dusty than Saudi Arabia, but the the connection still stands. I live next to a bridge which pushes dust into my house, and uh, I learned a lot about metal pollution through this article. As for solutions, closing my windows helps sometimes. If the windows are closed, it's much less dusty in here. Sometimes if the train is going by on the bridge and the window is open and the sun is beaming, you can actually see all of the dust being spewed in through the window. Um, I said closing windows helps. Finer screens to block out some doesn't really that doesn't really help. But really, it's more of an infrastructure thing. A bridge is always going to push dust, and like a troll, I live under a bridge. Um, so that's just an infrastructure thing. Maybe if we have teleportation or flying cars, um, I will my house won't be dusty. Overall, there are a lot of sources of indoor air pollution around you. Being very conscious of things like incense that you you think you just burn and it smells good, or air fresheners, you think you just spray and it smells good, or not cleaning always. It's easy to put those things aside, but they are indoor air pollutants, which is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous type of pollutant, and if you let things like carbon monoxide build up, you can literally die from it. So making sure your AC filters are clean, you're dusting and vacuuming, your home has good ventilation, and you're doing anything you can to keep out things like bridge metal. Um, yeah, so just be aware that there are dangerous chemicals in the air, there are dangerous chemicals in everything that you buy, and just be cautious and make sure if you have something like asthma, you're being especially cautious of what you're buying and what you're spraying into the air in your house because it could be having negative effects on your lungs and whatnot. That's all I had to say.